Welcome back. Thanksgiving is this weekend, and today we're getting some celebration inspiration from a true entertaining maven.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that word enough. That's exactly what she is. She's here with dishes from her second cookbook, well seasoned, a year's worth of delicious recipes. The lovely, the talented, we love her. Mary Berg is back. Hey, Mary.
Hello.
This is so great. We're so excited that you're here because, you know, across the country, the leaves are turning. Some taste buds are turning as well. This is when we maybe start to go for those comfort, cozier meals.
Warm.
So warm, yeah, like a nice little blanket. So let's talk about your brand new cookbook, why it's got and why you decided to do recipes for every season, but also you did this during a pandemic, and what was that like?
I mean, holy smokes, yes. But first off, this book, well seasoned, you're right. It's all about seasons. Because I don't know about you, but like as the seasons change, my cravings completely change with it. Like in the spring, it's all like crispy, get out of here, winter, delish, light. Summer's kind of bold classics. Fall is, you're exactly right, warm, cozy, kind of nostalgic. I feel like I should have a backpack on all the time going to school. And winter is kind of like rich and celebratory. It's awesome. But
I was just going to say, today you're actually sharing one of those beautiful autumn spreads with us today, right? That would be something that you think would be a great option to celebrate Thanksgiving with. And we're going to start with something called pumpkin nudie. It's a pumpkin nudie dish, and it sounds a little bit risque for daytime television. What is a pumpkin nudie?
I mean, it like sounds a lot riskier than it actually is, but essentially nudie is like tortellini without the pasta around it. So it is technically like naked tortellini. So the name is, you know, it does tell a story. But yeah, I wanted to do, it is such a simple homemade pasta dish, and it is so delicious. And obviously I add pumpkin to it because, I mean, it's Thanksgiving, it's fall, we got to get into it. So to make this recipe, it is like a one bowl, one pot situation, which is a dream. So in this bowl, I've got 1 cup of ricotta cheese, which is a classic nudie ingredient, classic cheese tortellini ingredient too. And into there, I'm going to add in 3/4 of a cup of canned pumpkin. Now, the only tricky thing about this recipe is you have to make sure you get canned pumpkin, not canned pumpkin pie filling. Because that would make weird. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a difference. So.
Honestly, they're mean at the grocery store and they put them right next to each other. So the bigger can is usually the one you're looking for. It won't have the sugar in it and things like that because sugar in this might go a little funny. But super simple. Now I'm also going to add in 2 egg yolks. Those are going to add a little bit of richness. They're going to help bind everything together and make it like a delicious kind of springy texture. And then to season that, I've got 2 teaspoons of chopped sage, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. And then I'm going to add more cheese because,
why not?
Spoiler alert. Yeah, the fall is for cheese. It's for so much cheese. So I'm just going to grate in about 3/4 of a cup of grated Parmigiano Reggiano, or you could even use like Pecorino if you wanted something with a bit more of a goaty, salty funk in there. But it's like the smell of Parmigiano Reggiano when you grate it, it's insane. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yes. And this is actually one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. And I'm not much of a kitchen gadget person, but having a rasp or a microplane is perfect for grating cheese. But it's also perfect for my least favorite task in the kitchen. And this one's a bit of an embarrassing one. I hate mincing garlic. I don't know about you.
Can I just buy it minced? Because that's what I do.
You totally could. You 100% could.
Okay.
And I honestly wonder why I don't do that myself. But it's because I do this. I rasp it
I've never done that with garlic before.
Watch your fingernails.
I know, seriously. But honestly, it's so much better because then you don't have to deal with like your cutting board smelling like garlic for a long time.
And how all the little pieces stick on the knife and you can't get them off the knife.
Yeah.
Yes, you're speaking my language. It's my least favorite thing in the world. It's the worst. But into there, I also am going to add another flavor. And this one's kind of weird because you won't think of it as a savory ingredient, but a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg, just again, grated over that rasp.
Nice
it is so good in a savory dish. It's delicious.
That's fall.
It's kind of,
that's fall.
It's fall.
I didn't think you could make a nudie any spicier, but you just added nutmeg. And
I know, right? It's going to be it's a daytime nudie. That's what we're doing right now. It's a good thing.
Okay, so you're mixing it all together.
Yeah, mix it up. And then just to bind it together. So this is kind of where it gets kind of gnocchi-y. I'm going to add in about 1/2 to about 3/4 of a cup of flour just to get that together and turn it into basically just a pasta dough. So all I have to do is mix that up.
Okay.
And in literally no time flat, I have this is the dough. That's it. I just mixed it, I made it, and all I need to do now to cook it is I've got a disher here, which is like a tiny ice cream scoop, and all I'm gonna do is scoop a little bit, head over to the stove, and just plop it into some boiling salted water.
Ooh, got it.
So they start immediately to kind of tighten up.
Yep.
They do lose a little bit of that starch, but that's gonna give you nice starchy cooking water.
Yeah.
Pop those in there. Let those go for about 4 to 5 minutes. Basically, you want them to float to the surface and then boil for about 1 minute once they float to the surface. That is going to get those gnocchi or those nudie delicious and done, so tasty and easy.
Okay, and it looks like you've got a sauce going to go with it as well.
Obviously, so good. So this sauce is also deceptively simple. Every time I make it, I'm like, did I write this recipe right? Because all it is a half a cup of whipping cream that I've simmered down for about 5 minutes just to thicken it up a little bit. Okay. And then I've got some blue cheese here that I'm just going to scatter in. Melt that in, and then you add the quickest. This is also delicious if you eat steak. This is amazing on a steak. The quickest kind of blue cheese cream sauce that you could make.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, while you're making that, Mary, you're on team blue cheese?
I love a blue cheese, and when you just have blue cheese on steak, I love blue cheese.
So I am not on team blue cheese. I find it so, I love other things, but not that. So is there a swap, Mary, for blue cheese?
Yes, oh my gosh, 100%. So I love blue cheese, so I'm all about it, especially fall. But you could do goat cheese if you want like a little bit of tanginess, Parmigiano Reggiano, or if you're really holding on to those summer vibes, feta is like a summer cheese in my opinion, but that would be amazing on here.
I love that feta is a summer cheese. Like I feel like this just became like a cheese fashion segment.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so I'm going to move from your gorgeous appetizer onto the main. Now, you've prepared a pistachio pesto salmon en croûte. I hope I said that bougie enough for all of you. Why is this a dish that you like for Thanksgiving, for a Thanksgiving meal?
Totally works for a Thanksgiving meal. I don't eat turkey. I do love making a turkey, but this en croûte, this salmon en croûte is so perfect because it's kind of a take on a beef Wellington, but without that really kind of juicy beef. Because I always, not gonna lie, sorry Gordon Ramsay, sorry everybody who loves a beef Wellington, I think it is a silly thing to make. How do you make the crispy pastry and the meat juicy? It doesn't make any sense. But if you swap it out with salmon and that delicious herby pesto, you still get a show-stopping meal to bring to the table. It's super good, really easy and fresh.
Okay, so you and I are the same. We eat fish. We don't eat meat. Is this really tough to make?
It is honestly so simple to make. I literally made it last night while I was having champagne.
Nice.
So I think that's the mark of an easy recipe.
So when we're entertaining family and friends, what's your advice on how to accommodate like dietary restrictions? You know, that one annoying person who's lactose intolerant or a vegan cousin. Like, should we cook an entire separate meal for them? Like, does everybody's stuff have to be vegan? Or like, what's the way to go about this?
Honestly, in my house, I obviously love cooking, but I'm all about making a lot of little different things that people can kind of make their plate however they want. Because then you're not doing the like, you're not eating this. Like no one's pointing out, no one's sitting at the kids' table to eat their special meal. Everybody kind of gets to eat what they want when they want. Because I hate being that person. I don't know about you, Mel, who shows up and people have been frantic about what to feed me. I'm happy with potatoes. I'm happy with whatever.
Yeah, I'm low maintenance and I don't want any extra fuss. So this is a great way to deal with us people. Listen, you have done already amazing mains. Let's move on to dessert. And you've got something again that really transitions well into the colder months, and this is a Basque cheesecake. So tell us what makes it different than something traditional in terms of cheesecake.
So this cheesecake kind of takes all of the rules of a traditional kind of New York style cheesecake with that water bath and don't mix the mixture too much or else it's going to split or it's going to crack. This takes all of those rules, throws them out the window and says, get out of here. I'm going to make cheesecake like I've never read a recipe before, and it is amazing. You basically just beat everything up, all that cream cheese, that sugar, those eggs, pour it into a pan and stick it into a smoking hot oven until it looks burnt. And that's what Basque is. It's like burnt on the outside. It falls down and gets dense and fudgy. And this is actually an eggnog Basque cheesecake. So we're leaning into kind of a little more winter, but still so good. There's a bit of rum in there, obviously, and some nutmeg.
You had me at eggnog. I cannot believe how much this doesn't look like a traditional cheesecake, right? So can you tell us a little bit about the eggnog in this Basque cheesecake while we taste it?
We actually have some
okay.
to eat. Thank
I
you,
know,
Mary.
I'm so pumped. Yeah. I was so pumped when I got to bring this over. But no, I am, honestly, eggnog is such a delicious thing. You can swap eggnog out for a lot of whipped cream in recipes if you're not whipping it. It's got that same rich, delicious flavor. It's got that like little bit of nutmeg in it. And then again, the rum and the whipped cream, right? Not too shabby.
Oh my gosh, we're dying over here.
Oh my God,
this
this
is
is
amazing.
really good. This is the meanest thing to put in front of a lactose intolerant person ever.
I'm so sorry. I know. I
good.
put so much cheese in this meal.
It's so good.
Wow.
I understand that you have a tip for cutting this type of cake that we should all consider, right?
I think the thing, oftentimes when you cut something that's sticky, it all gets stuck to the knife. So you want to heat the knife up under some hot running water, wipe it off, slice, and then wipe it off in between each slice. Because then it doesn't look like you were trying to hide the fact that maybe you ate some of the cake before.
Well, we are going to eat all of this on the commercial break, which is why I'm rushing to get to commercial. Mary, this is amazing. Thank you for these fabulous recipes, as always, just ahead of Thanksgiving. And viewers at home, don't worry. All of these recipes will be on our social media channels right after the show.
And don't forget, Well Seasoned is available now, and you can catch episodes of Mary Makes It Easy Mondays at 8 p.m. on CTV Life channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I'm eating this cake.
I'm getting into the nudie. Yeah.